Chiclets fans, Biz here. We want you to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And just maybe, if enough of you subscribe, we'll put out more original content.
We have an absolutely incredible matchup on hand. First ever playoff matchup between the two teams, obviously. The two-time defending champs versus what we call the number one contender. Guys, I first thing I think I tweeted when the game ended the other night, this is very reminiscent back in the 80s when the Islanders and the Oilers were matching up, because same situation. The Islanders defending champs going against this young up-and-coming team knocking at the door. And that's what we're going to get. The only question is it going to be 1983 when the Islanders won or 1984 when the Oilers won? And we can't wait to see what happens. Game 1, Wednesday in Denver, 8 p.m. Again, we'll be live streaming here. Check it out. Series line, the Avs are minus 165. Tampa plus 145. I was stunned when I saw this line. Two-time defending champs, best goalie on the planet, and you can get him at almost $1.50. Just an incredible line. Season series, Colorado was 2-0, Tampa 0-1-1. Evenly matched. Let's see, the goaltender, man, Vasilevsky, regardless of who Colorado starts, it's going to be a mismatch. We got two of the Norris Trophy finalists. It's a six-time Norris finalists have faced off in the Stanley Cup Finals. Tampa seeking the first three-peat in 40 years. Tampa's won 82 playoff games since 2015. That's more than 10 a season. Second place, Pittsburgh, has only won 45 games. So Tampa, the team of the last 10 years here. Also, Detroit is the only team with more Stanley Cup appearances than Tampa since Tampa joined the league. I don't think people realize how good they are since they got in the league. Braden Point right now is extremely probable. We're not sure about Kadri and Cogliano, but let's go to you first. Your take. What are you thinking here, buddy?
I truly have no idea what to think. I think we're in for an amazing series. I guess I'll get it out of the way right now. I've said before they won the first one, Tampa's going to win it. I said I'm not picking against them the next year, and I picked them again, and Tampa won it. And now I'm riding them again until they lose. I am on Tampa Bay. And the main thing is Vasilevsky. I was shocked by the price of the series as well already. I cannot believe they're that much underdogs. I understand Colorado is so good. The biggest thing I'll say for Tampa is this is easily, not even remotely close to the other two in terms of the toughest test they've had in the finals. Because let's be honest, the Dallas team, while having a great run in the bubble, couldn't even sniff them. And Montreal was maybe the worst team to ever be in the finals last year. So now you're playing what many people, even though they didn't win the President's Trophy because of a great run by Florida at the end, the best team overall this year in the league. But with Kadri as this X factor, and yeah, I mean, they haven't even ruled him out of game 1, but if he's able to play, it's like, will he be able to shoot the puck? Like, how's his thumb going to react? I just cannot pick against Tampa because of the goaltending and because of what they've proven. Now, is that kind of a simple argument? Yeah, I know it is, but like I've seen this over and over and over, and it's like, why would I ever think it's going to be any different? Yeah, they haven't faced anyone like this. They have not faced anyone like McKinnon or Makar in any of the series that they've played. And I'm sorry, I guess Matthews is that good, but I just think that this team's proven so often that they're able to rally around each other and that nothing rattles them. So even if they go down 0-2 in Colorado, it's like they go back home. They don't really lose at home. And I think that you'll see goaltending will prevail. And so another reason that I like Tampa, and this isn't like an enormous thing, but we've seen 2 years and actually a long time as a Tampa Bay player, Alex Killorn play some big-time hockey. He doesn't have a goal yet in the playoffs. And it's one of those things where when you talk about having a tough regular season, you can't wait for the playoffs to begin to kind of rewrite your season, right? You can write a new chapter on your year by having a great playoff. Well, he's had a tough playoff offensively. It's now to the finals. I could change the entire narrative on my playoff by getting a couple in the finals. I will be shocked if Killorn doesn't score a few goals in these finals. Now, part of it being, Corey Perry's taken his spot as net front on the power play. Rightfully so, the way Perry could score, how good he is in tight. I understand it. But it's just like when you've gone this far and you haven't had point for 8 games, you're going to get him back at some point. Killorn hasn't scored. Hedman on the back end, McDonough, who doesn't get discussed enough at all. And then Sergachev has that huge game 5 in New York with the goal and the assist. It's just, I cannot pick against this team. I will not pick against this team. Colorado, I have no doubt will win a Stanley Cup. But right now, I don't think it's their time yet. And the main reason being the big cat in net. I'm on Tampa Bay in 7 games. Wow. And let's just say this. RA mentioned Norris Trophy finalists in the same season, battling it out in the finals. I think it's the 6th time it's happened. Well, one of those times was Ray Bourque versus Scott Stevens, when Ray Bourque got his cup in Game 7 on home ice in Denver. I think this goes Game 7, but Hedman lifts it for 3 straight years in Makar's face.
Wow.
Ooh, oh my.
Whit, I can't disagree with anything that you're saying. I was trying to go through the checklist. You know, you go through like every department of the game. Of course, goaltending, Tampa's getting the edge. I went to the back end. I looked at it like this. Based on the full body of work going 1 through 6, I would say that I like Tampa.
Very similar though on the back end, right?
Very similar. The way I look at Colorado is basically like they're going up against Toronto again with a better back end. They have the same type of firepower. They have a very good mobile bottom 6 who everyone seems to have their role. The X factor being Makar. Can Makar bring it to that next level? And can he continue to expose teams like he's been able to do all season long by being a one-man breakout, by being that offensive threat? You mentioned the adjustments and how Coop's been able to find adjustments after Game 1 for every round and every opponent they've had. Not just in Game 1. What will we see throughout the full fucking round of what Cale Makar can bring, and him doing Paul Coffey, maybe even Bobby Orr things? So I'm going to say it's even across the board on the back end based on them having the X factor, but the full 6 in Tampa based on experience, especially with Hedman, McDonough, and Sergachev, and those 3 type of guys. Moving up front, we know Tampa has the weapons up front in their top 6. That's been proven to be able to do it in big games. I would say that the top 6 for Colorado, very equivalent to that. But much like Cale Makar, can McKinnon fucking bring his game to that next level? Those 2 guys are going to have to carry that extra water for what they're lacking in between the pipes, because we don't even know who we're getting to start out. And we know whoever is going up against Vasilevsky ain't even fucking close to Vasilevsky. Then you go to coaching and you base the experience and the intangibles of all that. And you got to obviously give the edge to Tampa. The only edge I give Colorado in this series is in the bottom 6 forwards and what they can bring to the table. But I think that this rest that Colorado has been given throughout playoffs, especially heading into the finals,
they've lost 2 games.
They've lost 2 games. I am actually going to pick Colorado in 7.
Wow.
And I think that the torch is going to be passed off. I think this isn't 83. I think this is 84. Ooh. And I love all the guys from Tampa. Am I going to be mad if Maroon gets 4 in a row? We haven't even talked about him. That would be astonishing. An astonishing achievement for Maroon to go 4 in a row. This guy's going to have his post career teed up on a platter. He's going to make more money in his post career than he will during his playing days, for an unbelievable guy who provided everything they provided. But the dog needs his fucking bone. And I think that he is so fucking hungry. And I don't think that he will be denied. The Kadri loss is very significant, and especially in the swing that Tampa's getting back point. If you held a gun to my head and said who you picked, betting your life on it, I would probably lean towards Tampa. But my heart right now is going towards Colorado in 7. And based on all those factors and thinking about it, that's where my heart lies, RA. And Tampa's eaten enough. The dog needs to eat. The dog needs to eat.
What do you got for us, G?
I'm very interested to see G and RA. I have no idea how any of you guys are leaning.
I got Tampa in 7. Let's make some money. Elio's video today kind of swayed me.
Jesus. He picked Tampa.
Plus 165. It's like I just love the juice there. And I also love Stamkos. Stamkos at plus 1,300 to win the Conn Smythe. I love that too. So I got Tampa in 7.
I mean, he would have to legit score 7 goals to get it over Vasilevsky, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
He would have to score 7 goals. He would have to score at every game in this series, including like 3 winners, in order to fucking get it. Because I would say that I would probably have Cooch ahead of him right now.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Cooch is like plus 400.
Yeah. So yeah, I wouldn't go betting on that, but fuck the fact that they're getting 165. I thought it was 145. RA.
No, Tampa. Well, last I looked, Tampa Bay was plus 145, unless the line went up since then. But and of course,
I just checked; it just jumped to 165. I think.
Oh,
wow!
Maybe Kadri's playing.
Yeah. Oh.
Maybe he's got the Russian gas.
Either way, whatever. Tampa plus 150, 160, whatever. Just the fact that two-time defended champs, that plus of a number that big is something else. And Biz, here's a note from your boy Jazz. Our boy Jazz. It's the first time both finalists have entered on a winning streak of at least 4 games. Since the 92 final. Chicago had won 11 in a row going into that final. Pittsburgh had won 7 in a row. And, of course, Pittsburgh swept the Hawks back in 92. Interesting little note. And the Avs joined 7 other teams in reaching the final, like Whit just said, with just 2 losses. 4 of those 7 went on to win the Cup. And this note was probably the craziest of all. All games are going to be on ABC here in the States. I'm not sure about Canada. This is going to be the first time ever that the Stanley Cup is going to air all games on free-to-air TV, i.e. like traditional network TV here in the States. So there's no splitting games with ESPN or Versus or NBCSN. It's just crazy that the Stanley Cup has never aired entirely on either ABC, CBS, NBC, or Fox.
Now,
in all its years.
Now, I think we should mention that ESPN owns ABC, and it's basically going to be the same coverage, just shifted over to the ABC channel.
Right. It's just more about like ESPN has pay cables. Like you can't get ESPN without cable. Just in other words, free. Like if you don't have an antenna or cable, I know I'm dating myself with that. This would be the first time that you don't need cable or satellite to watch every single game of the Stanley Cup.
Wow.
I guess that's another way.
That's awesome. In order to grow the game, maybe that was a deal they had in place originally in order to give it that type of exposure. One component we didn't talk about though was the head coaching battle. RA, and I don't know if you have any more opinions on the overall series itself, the coaching battle. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I know it's funny because obviously we talk about me and Coop, and then we talked to Bedsy. We were out in Colorado, and he's such a great guy. Gave us a lot of time, and he's got his family dinner. He's talking to us for 20 minutes. So it's weird, man. With this job, it's like people like, oh, who are you rooting for? And you start to root for people more than teams. Obviously, I'm always a bees guy, but you root for people you meet and people you like. And I'm torn, man. It's like I like so many people involved with this, but you know what? Tampa Bay, I think they really turned the corner after that game 3 versus the Rangers, where they kind of really rediscovered their game and just kind of focused in. And I can't help but keep going to the goaltenders, man. And that's such a huge position, no doy, but Vasilevsky over whoever he goes, whether it's Francouz or Kempa, it's just such a huge disparity. So I'm going to go 1983 Biz and say Tampa in 6. They're going to win it at home. I hate saying sorry, Nate. Sorry, Landy. Sorry, Bedsy. But I just think there's just too much of a discrepancy. And Koopa, he's obviously got a little bit of advantage just by dint of having that much more experience in these finals. But honestly, I hope we get a 70-game series that goes overtime just for the entertainment factor, because it's the Stanley Cup, and that's what we want. And that's the other thing, too. 83 and 84, I think one was a sweep and one went 5 games. So hopefully we'll get at least 6 or 7 games. And let's just get an entertaining series. Are you going to bet Colorado game 1 then, Whit, given that what you know about Tampa in game 1s this playoffs?
No, I'm actually not, because I think that in what happened to Tampa against the Rangers, I think the layoff can hurt. So I'm gonna take Tampa game 1.
Same.
And then it turns into just panic mode for Colorado to get game 2. So I can't. I'm with you, RA. Like, this is the best time of year. You're always waiting for the Stanley Cup final every single season until I'm no longer on this earth. I'll be watching. I'll get a little teary-eyed when the Stanley Cup comes out. It's just like, you think to being young, you think of after playing, what these guys have gone through and how much pain physically all of them are in. And like, just seeing the shiny cup be brought onto the ice, and whether it's a not record breaking, but just insane run of 3 in a row for Tampa, or you see McKinnon and Makar and Landeskog. Landeskog's been there for so long, 16-17, the worst team in the league. And then to see him raise it, it's like, it's hard not to get emotional, I think, playing hockey for as long as we have. And even if you're just a fan of hockey, of seeing the Stanley Cup come out. So I just hope for a great series. And it's also the annual reminder that we've never had a game 7 in the Stanley Cup final go to overtime. That's all I've wanted. Ever. It's never happened. I'm pretty sure it's never happened. And just to get the chance, if we could get game 7 OT, I think you're looking at 15 million people tuning into the game. Like, it's like, oh my God, like, next goal wins the Stanley Cup.
That would be fucked.
That would be
now.
Yeah, like the amount of butterflies in my stomach thinking about it.
Yeah,
we're going to be doing a Maya culpa next episode, and the fact that like 2 game 7s have went.
It happened in like '98.
Yeah, idiot.
It hasn't happened in the expansion era. I know that.
Well, the last
maybe
time
it
we
happened
had,
in the 50s or something.
last time we had a game 7 was St. Louis and Boston, and that one was a bit of a dud. I thought that was a bit of a letdown, although the series was incredible. Whit, I'm like you though. Like, I have like goosebumps thinking about this one. I think we knew the writing on the wall against Dallas and Montreal. This is you couldn't
We have no clue. Or we have no clue. Nobody does.
If you would have tried to handpick opponents at the beginning of the season, saying this would be an awesome final, this might have won the poll or whatever.
Two Southern teams, Biz.
Yeah, two Southern teams going at it. Yep. So that's pretty much it for the breakdown, guys. And if they want to raise the cup, Colorado's going to have to get that contribution from the JT Compers and those bottom 6 guys, because they are looking at a mighty strong opponent in Tampa.
You know, Biz, I was looking at a map. I'm not sure if it was on the PJ or not, but, you know, Colorado, I could see how you made that mistake because it does border, I think, Arizona and New Mexico on the bottom there. So, you know, it's below Wyoming. I'm like, you know, it wasn't the worst mistake, you know, because it is in that southwest corner. So I'll take a little bit of criticism back that I gave you.
We're like on the cusp there, and I'm willing to admit I'm wrong.
But it wasn't that wrong. But so either way, what we got?
Hey, last thing before we go, and maybe move on to some other hockey topics, miscellaneous stuff, is like I kind of feel bad that the name Anthony Cirelli hasn't been brought up yet, because you're looking at a truly kind of game-breaking type of defensive player. I mean, Matthews, he's moved on. Who am I forgetting in Florida? What's his Barkov? And now you see what he did in this last round against Kreider and Zibanejad. It's like, this guy is so difficult to play against. He's such a great skater. His IQ is off the charts, and he's willing to get dirty, and he gets in the areas of the ice that it hurts to be at. So to have a player like that is who McKinnon's going to be dealing with. At least when Cooper's able to get that done on the road, and at home it'll be a little easier. And that guy's top in the league at just shutting down star players. So we'll see how that matchup goes.
He's like a Deneau or like a Bergeron.
Faster.
Good
not
call,
going to say he's better than Patrice Bergeron defensively.
I think last time we mentioned good defensive forwards, we didn't mention Pavel Datsyuk, and I got a couple death threats from.
That was crazy.
Yeah. Because when you forget someone saying something, that means you don't like them. That's fucking the world in 2022.
Yeah, correct.